Society is growing more and more depraved by the hour. And if you are a Christian man, continue watching this video because I have two things as a 32-year-old Christian, stable, married man here in Miami, Florida, which many people say is one of the Sodom and Gomorrahs of this world. I want to just share with you that there are a few simple practices that I personally implement in my own life in order to place boundaries around my heart, around my soul, around my mind, in order that stability can be held daily with myself, with my wife, and most of all with my walk with the Lord. The first thing is simple but profound, talked about but not exercised a lot by most people in society, especially not in the church. The first thing is your circle. The 5 closest people to you will determine the ceiling of the outcome of the rest of your life. Again, the 5 closest people to you will determine the ceiling of the outcome of your life. So quite literally, the people you surround yourself with will be the thing that manifests what happens in your life in the future. Manifest is a word in the Christian community that it's kind of demonized, but the reality is that things are not produced in your life by accident. They are accumulated by actions and thoughts that you personally have welcomed into your life. Yes, there are certain life circumstances that just come about due to the suffering that God promised us. But the other reality is that a lot of things in life just happen because you are living the life that you're living. You're doing the actions that you're doing. You're thinking the thoughts that you're thinking. And it just happens. So the 5 closest people to you will determine your future. Who are your mentors? What are you placing yourself around geographically? There's a principle in business that you want to implement into your spiritual life and vice versa. If you're looking to make more wealth, the reality is that if you're hanging out with a bunch of broke people, I'm pretty sure you're going to be staying broke. It's very rare circumstances that is not the case. So making sure to have around you passionate for Christ and passionate for stability, a strong marriage, a strong business, a strong physical well-being. All these things are essential in life for you to thrive. So having 5 friends and mentors around you that are pushing you to succeed in this area in life is absolutely essential. Here in Miami, I moved here about a year ago. I could truly say I have about 2 friends here thus far. And that is because the majority of my friends are colleagues in the fitness industry, but many, are not walking with the Lord. And I'm not going to sit here and say on my YouTube channel that I'm a perfect Christian. I'm not. I cuss sometimes, I do things that are questionable that a lot of Christians in the mainstream Christian realm, find to be not Christian. I'm not talking about sins. I'm just talking about living a life. Like, I'm shirtless on my social media. Like, there's a ton of Christians out there that would say that's literally leading people to lust. I just completely disagree. 90 something, or it's like 88 or 92% of my audience is men that watch my stuff. And they're not gay men. The majority of them are men that are in the fitness industry that are wanting to push themselves. So let's go on to number 2. Cut distractions. The reality is that most men that, for instance, watch porn, they do that because social media has so devised an algorithm that it will shoot you videos that are basically soft that lead you to then watch the actual thing. Cutting distractions is one of the most simple boundaries that you can do in your life in order to see a lifelong change. If you create this habit young, it can grow into your 30s and 40s and be established in your life. When you get married, when you have a family. My wife and I, before bed, we really make it a point to make sure to set our phones down. We put it on the red screen. If you don't know how to do that, I recommend looking up on another YouTube channel. Go to your settings, switch the light on your phone to actually a red light in order that it does not affect your eyes in the same way compared to the light that is exuding from your phone normally. So within cutting distractions, one thing like just regarding productivity, Tim Ferriss is a serial entrepreneur, an author here in America, and he talks about batch learning. And that's something, batch learning and batch productivity, that's something that for me personally fits who I am as a person much better than really anything else. You know, a lot of people can dive deep into learning, studying, working productively for a few minutes and then get distracted by their phone. Well, eliminate the phone. Okay, so then they can lock in for 15 minutes or 30 minutes. Like, what is the time frame that you need to be able to lock in your time with the Lord in the morning, lock in for an item that you've been needing to do in your business or your career job for a long time that you just suck at and that you keep on getting distracted by or during? Batch learning is an amazing thing where, for me, I will set my phone face down behind my computer, shut off the notifications on my Apple laptop because, what pops up on my phone, typically, especially text, will pop up on my laptop. That's a problem for this type of productivity. So he defines batching as grouping similar routine tasks into dedicated blocks of time. And that can go with business. Like, I find myself within my online coaching business, creativity only comes to me at certain times in the day. Like, I can just do grunt work very simply and just push towards that, do nicotine, drink caffeine, whatever, blast it out. But there's only specific times that my brain is functioning in this like creative gray area zone. It's not common for me because that's not who I was built into environmentally as a kid. And in general, just it hasn't been who I am now. And it's something that I believe that God is building and that I'm, working that muscle out with what I'm doing now with meta ads for my online coaching business that I'm launching soon. So I hope these things help. Super simple. Choosing your circle correctly can help detach you from how society lures you into its darkest black pits that you really don't want to go down, whether it be secret sins or public partying where you're going somewhere, just getting trashed and stuff like that. Really making sure to get around the right people in order to not go down a certain path that you're going to regret the next day or make horrendous decisions that could affect your entire life. And then secondarily, cut distractions, making sure to step into a lifestyle where you are not getting distracted by things that lead you also into sin, lead you away from being productive in your marriage, in your business, in your career. And just a call to action to you guys. If you guys need any help with this, I'm not like some business productivity master, but shoot me a DM, shoot me a message, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, whatever. Shoot me a message. Let's talk. I just want to hear from you. I enjoy talking to anybody who watches any of my videos, sees any of my posts or anything like that. If you've messaged me before, you'll know that, within about 24 hours, I'll make sure to get to everybody. It's something that I pride myself in with what I do. I love being one of the most accessible fitness influencers out there. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this helps. This was just a rant about two subjects because I care a lot about, especially young men in today's society, being able to detach themselves from just the crudeness and the craziness of today's world. So like, comment, and subscribe if you found any value in this video and share it with a friend. Peace out, guys.